There is no easy one. I think honestly, Snow White was the easiest because you had the seven different dwarfs, and then you had her and the prince as the different colors. So I think we're just hard from here on out. So
Yeah. Well, the Snow White took me a long time because it was the
yes,
first one,
hmm
and just trying to figure out how we're going to sort all this stuff.
I know it was just ridiculous with the amount of yeah. I definitely learned after Snow White how to do the sorting. I use a lot of cardboard and foam board to kind of put every because I don't like to get up and walk around if I want to stay in one spot and just puzzle. So yeah, it's definitely. But you're coming along though. I see your videos every week, and I'm like, oh yay, yay, yay! So I'm also like dreading it inside as well, but I am cheering you on. So
uh, yeah, and you got that other one done. What do you think is going to be next for you as it goes now?
I think it's neck and neck between Beauty and the Beast and Lion King. And
Yeah,
a lot of people are like Jungle Book because they want to see if it's going to fit along with Little Mermaid because my friend Wendy, she had finished Jungle Book already and her pieces, the ins and outs are in the middle. And I'm like, crap, like I know that
yeah,
you said your edges of Peter Pan are not in the middle. So I'm like, now is Jungle Book? I don't know. I don't know what we're
because
gonna do here.
so like I've got pulled this one out. So you can that's
Yes.
not quite in the
Okay.
middle,
No.
and here's one that's even farther to
Yeah.
the side, and I pulled out a dozen or two that are off center. So I have a feeling
Yeah.
that it may be just the cut on the puzzles.
The only thing I can think of is, and I don't know, because I know that when Ravensburger cut them, because I've watched some videos online, they cut
Yeah,
them in the different sections. So it's like Snow White was one, so they didn't cut it like all as 40,000 pieces. They cut them individually. But I don't know if they cut one at a time or if they cut multiple. So I don't know if like the ones that are miscut were maybe towards the bottom of the pile, like as things cut, like they don't get as to be as straight. So I
yeah,
don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And but I'm gonna continue on. I'm gonna keep on moving along. And if it doesn't fit, then it doesn't fit, and it'll just be a story to go along with a puzzle with all my other stories. So
yeah. Then what? They got to figure out how to connect them.
I know. Yeah, my fear is that it's just gonna be a little off. But I mean, I'm gonna probably break mine up anyway because I'm gonna have to do it on separate walls, so they're not gonna be all together anyway. They'll have the illusion of being together, but. I didn't build a room for mine, so
Yeah.
like you did. You could make sure that you had the proper amount of space.
Well, the wall I'm putting it on it already existed. It's
Hmm
just I just built the room so I can put it together.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. And what
So
and every I know that you have some people. I have some people, tuning in. What do you guys think? I have finished three. We're working. I'll be working on the next one this week. So far, we have the top three is Cinderella, Beauty and no, not Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast. I have Lion King and Jungle Book are the top three for. No one is voting for Dumbo. I feel so bad for Dumbo. Last time Dumbo got four votes, and I'm like, I'm one of these days I'm just going to sneak Dumbo in there because he's so cute. But I feel bad for Dumbo. No one wants to see Dumbo, so
because I was originally going to put Jungle Book and Dumbo to stay away from Fantasia,
yeah,
but I'm just going to open it up for all the rest of them. So
yep.
hopefully stay away
Yeah,
from
to me,
Blue.
it's like, yeah, exactly. To me, it's like just let everyone vote. I mean, they're all going to get done at some point, so I'm like, it doesn't really matter
Yeah,
what order. Fantasia to me doesn't look quite that bad because it's a half and half. Like if
yeah,
you let me see. I think I can let me flip my camera so everyone can see. All right, there we go. So Fantasia is like everyone can see. It's like you got half blue and you got like half the gold and yellow. Where like down here, this is all blue and a mess. So I don't
yeah.
think that Fantasia is going to like I've ranked them into difficulty. I think this is the most difficult, but I would a lot of blue, but at least it's not all blue. So and then Jungle Book looks like it's going to be fun. Although sorting the pieces, it is a lot of green. I've realized, and I'm like, oh boy. And then poor Dumbo that no one wants to see. He's cute though. I this one I think would
Yeah.
be one of the easier ones. This is a lot of gray. You got the but as you know, Pat, once you see those puzzle pieces, like for example, I'll show everyone over here is like, oh, when you look from a distance, Ariel. And then you get in deep and it's like, oh, we have peach with a little bit of blue. And then this blue up here, it's got some dark blue for the background and light. Oh, yeah, these are a challenge, definitely.
Yeah, especially with Peter Pan because of the blues, the shades kind of run into each other.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different shades of blue. But I think
Yep.
Jungle Book is more distinctive on the green.
Yes, definitely.
It doesn't go shade by shade by shade.
No, it doesn't, thankfully. Yeah, and then, we have Little Mermaid, as we know, and then this one I felt was not as difficult. I mean, when I look back, this one was easier than Ariel. The hard part was the flowers, and here I have mine on my floor over here, is because they fade, but then they fade like a lot. So you have like the bright white up here, and then it kind of goes to like an ugly white, and then it just goes in. The fading to me is the hardest.
Yeah.
Because your eyes just can't, like, even when I was working on this, it was hard because it's like, well, there's a star one up here. So I put that like in my star section when I sorted. But then when I'm doing this row, I'm like, well, this one doesn't have yeah. The stars to me are the worst.
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan of the stars at all, just because of the fading. But I mean, they'll look nice once they're done.
But when you get to the last row, it's easier because they alternate.
Yes. Mm-hmm, exactly. Yep, and it goes a lot quicker because you have a lot less pieces to deal with as well.
Yeah.
So, that's always the good news. But yeah, and then we have Beauty and the Beast, of course, still left to do. Cinderella, like I was talking about, a lot of blue, but at least the blue's kind of broken up. You just really have the woods in the back to deal with, and then I think this one's going to be difficult too. Because it's a lot of brown, different shades of brown. But as you know, when you sort, it's hard to, your eyes just get tired of sorting. You're like, yeah, just throw all the brown together in one thing. You're good.
Yeah, but it might still be easier than Peter Pan.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think Peter Pan is the worst. I think that is like the worst one out of all of them. Definitely. So do you have a time? Because my brother has pressured me with the time by the end of this year to get it done. When do you want to, are you thinking like 2 years for yourself? Because originally I was thinking 2 years, and then my brother was like, and I'm like, cool, I just won't do anything for the entire, I'll just lock myself inside the house and puzzle. That's basically what I do right now, is I just lock myself in the house and just puzzle.
Well, I originally figured Thanksgiving this year based upon how quick I put other puzzles together. And that just went out the window within the first month of doing Snow White.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going, there's no way. Now I'm saying maybe 2023 Thanksgiving.
Okay.
We'll see how much faster this goes. Mm-hmm. That might be pushing it too with the time I've got.
Yep.
So,
and for me, like, until I get to the star border, because the star border, I just need to take breaks, like little breaks. But I like to sit down and puzzle a good 5, 6, 7 hours. Like, I don't like to come work on it for an hour, because sometimes you only get in like an hour, like 3 pieces in. And it's like, okay, well, I was on a roll. So when I on my weekends is where I just sit down and I'm like, let's get a good 16 hours in. And then that's when I make like those huge improvements. And then for the rest of the week, I just, try to do it a little bit, as it is. But that's where I get most of my, time. It is on the weekends when I don't have anything else to do, because I can sit down and work on it.
Yeah, because my main time is Saturday night.
Yep.
Like yesterday, I was charging a battery for a mower, so I came in here, did a few pieces. I maybe got 5 or 6 in. Then I had to go back out and finish doing what I was doing. And like this today, I started sorting a little more and doing my videos, and I might get some in today. I might not. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. And for me, the sorting is just mind-numbing sometimes, because when you originally sort, it's like, okay, you could do like the blues, the pinks, but then once you get into the puzzle, you're like, oh, there's like 12 different shades of blue. So then you have to go back and resort, because now that you're inside the puzzle, you're like, wow, there's like when I was doing, I'm like, you have Ariel's, shirts, her outfit, then her bow, and then the blue with the trees and the blue with the water spouts. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you just spend so much time sorting with this puzzle. It's ridiculous.
Yes. I pretty much sort. I'm picking a shade of blue and I'm pulling those out. So I'll have a bunch more that aren't sorted yet still.
Yep.
I'm just sorting by the section I'm doing it and
Yep.
then go by the shapes again.
Oh yeah. And
And
now you do smaller puzzles during the week, right?
yeah.
You work on. Okay. All right.
So I've got the one in the truck. I might get a couple days. Might get a.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably get 2-3 hours a week.
Okay.
Depends how tired I am. And I got
Yeah.
one in the house. I haven't touched it this weekend, the one in the house. So,
So you work on like three different puzzles at a time then?
yeah, pretty much.
Wow. You're like, my eyes just need a break from the big puzzle. No more blue. You're looking for like anything with color. You're like pink. I'll do anything but blue.
Yeah, but
At
the
this
one in
point.
the one in the house I'll work on like I'm waiting for dinner and I'll pull it out.
Yep.
But it's one of those from the Dollar Tree or Dollar Store.
Mm-hmm.
All the pieces are the same shape.
Oh.
And they're
Okay.
tiny and they're tiny.
Oh
So
wow.
and it's got a lot of blue in it.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. I will give Ravensburger their quality of puzzle pieces is like it's unmatched. They just have the best quality. I mean, I still haven't heard from them, so I think what I'm gonna do is I have an email address that I found, so I'm gonna email them on tomorrow, send them some pictures because they're kind of holding me up right now because I don't want to glue the puzzle together in case I have to take it apart. So, but I also, if they need pictures, I need to make sure I can access it. But I'm like, I need to work on the next puzzle. So I'm going to take pictures and then Monday I'm going to email them and hopefully we'll have a solution as what we're going to do. And then, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to start on the new puzzle. So whatever that might be, I'm thinking Beauty and the Beast. Although a lot of people are pulling for Jungle Book because they want to see if it's going to line up. So we'll
Yeah,
have to see.
I'm sure that might be a vote on this side too. See if
Yeah,
it fits.
exactly. Yeah, because you've
So,
done you've done Snow White and Peter Pan, so you'll at least get to put two of them together.
yeah,
I've just worked in all different directions, so
yeah.
I haven't been able to put anything together yet.
Yes, that was my original thought of trying to do them in the order to connect them
Hmm.
to make see how they connect, and even though they won't be permanently connected for
Yep.
till it gets ready to go up on the wall,
Hmm.
because
Yep.
that's going to be that'll probably take a while once I get all the puzzles. I just even get it up there and ready to put on the wall.
Hmm. And just
I
the
got
sheer weight of them. I mean, just one of these because I glue mine. Just moving around, they're heavy. Just one alone is heavy. So
yeah,
yeah, to secure it to the wall, it's definitely going to need some special TLC and yeah, we'll have to see. But I cannot wait to see because I see behind you have a lot of puzzles. So I can't wait to
yeah,
see your entire place just filled because this right here, this is like the statement piece. You walk in and it's like, whoa, that's
yeah,
amazing. So it's going to. I can't wait to see it when it's done.
yeah. I still got to buy more wood to finish the room.
Oh wow. You're like, there's steps to go before it even gets up on the wall. Like first everyone asks me like, where are you gonna put it? I'm like, let's see if I can get through it first. Like, let's just see if I can make it this far and then we'll figure out where I'm putting
Yeah,
it. I'm like,
because
first step first. Let's see if
the wall
but
behind me is the only wall that's actually complete,
okay.
and I got some little spots still. I got to cut some wood to put in, but I got to buy some more. But it's what slowed me down. That was the lumber prices.
Yeah.
When they pretty much tripled,
Mm-hmm.
I stopped buying it.
Yep.
So hopefully I'll go buy. I need to buy 8 pieces for the ceiling, and because puzzles will be going up there too.
Oh nice. Not this one though. It'll just start like sloping. You're like, no, all my hard work. You need like the little ones to go up on the ceiling where they can like very easily, affix to. So
Yeah. Well, I'm gluing the fronts and the back, and
okay.
and I staple wherever they kind of mold
Yeah.
out from the wall. And
Okay. That's a good idea. Yeah. And then are you putting this one in a frame or how are you going to get this one up on the wall? Or you don't have a plan yet?
uh, it'll be glued. Then I'll put it together and glue it to plywood with
Okay.
wood glue. I'm going to build a custom frame to put around it.
Okay.
And then I'll put it up on the wall and put the frame on.
Okay. That'll be nice.
And I'll have to pull pieces out of the middle of the puzzle when I put it on the wall to put the screws in.
Oh, yeah. So you're almost going to have to, so you'd have to like pull the pieces out, glue it with the missing pieces, and then,
Yeah,
oh, wow. Yeah.
put the
That's going to be
screws
tough.
in,
Yep.
then
And
put
then
the
glue it
piece
back.
in. And plus,
Hmm.
we want to, what's that called? We want to coat it too on top with
Okay.
epoxy.
Yep.
And so that's going to be
Man, you better not move because that you can't move that. That's going to have to move all in one section.
yeah, it's going to be permanent fixture of the house.
Yeah.
And it's just trying to figure out how I'm going to put these pieces back in the middle of the puzzle and put epoxy
Yeah.
over it without making a run.
Hmm.
Or I just may
Yeah. This.
say, forget about the middle of the puzzle and just screw it around the edges. And
Yep. And keep your fingers crossed.
yeah,
Yeah, these
it,
definitely are a masterpiece in itself. So I'm excited. I'm getting like the more I do it, I'm like, oh, I can't wait till the next one. I can't wait till it's done. So I'm excited. I mean, I think I'm going to probably just make it because I'm averaging about 4 to 5 weeks per puzzle with no life outside of just doing the
uh,
puzzle. But I'm like, I think I'm gonna probably be like one or two short from the end of the year. So we'll have to see. I'm like, I need to recruit people. I mean, like what I was thinking about them, like what Pat and I should have done is we should have just bought the puzzle together. You do 5, I do 5. We could have had this knocked out in a year and a half. We would have been done. I've been like, here you go, Pat. I'll like sign my name underneath the wood. I'll be like, there you go. You can enjoy all of our work. And then you'd be like, yeah, we did this in like a year and a half. Look at us go.
yeah, I looked up. Somebody's actually done it in 450 hours.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm going, that's no life.
Yeah.
But
I'm
if
like,
they're,
I couldn't imagine like looking at sometimes I dream puzzle pieces. Like I just dream and I'm like, oh my gosh, the pinks and I'm like, oh, it's it gets mind numbing a little bit.
yeah, 'cause when I'm driving down the road, it's all I think about: how I'm going to mount this, how I'm going to hang it.
Yep.
Uh, try to get my mind to do something else, and it's all you think about really when you start this.
Yep. No, absolutely. And anybody that's tuning in, if you guys have any questions for Pat or I, just go ahead. I see Emily said hello. Hi, Emily. Just go ahead and write in the chat. We'll be glad to answer any questions as we'll show you anything that you want to see. I have 3 sections done. Pat's working on the Peter Pan one. So if you have anything to say, please feel free to chime in. And Pat and I are just talking about the puzzle and the funness of doing these 40,000 piece puzzles. But yeah, I think the last one I was at 49 hours. It took me to do. It seemed like a lot longer in like real life, but yeah, I think I was at, and I want to say my first one I was over 80, just a little over 80
Uh,
hours. So I'm like, I knocked down 30, but I think a lot of that is the sorting because that
yeah,
first one was just a mess. Okay,
yeah,
so Kelly
Samantha.
asked, have you? Go ahead.
Yeah, Samantha figured 115 hours for me on the first one. So
Okay.
I never started keeping track. I wasn't worried about it. Now she's saying I'm in at 40 something on this.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really worry about the time.
Yeah.
I look at it as in months.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because I have a GoPro that's mounted up, so I can do like, okay, the GoPro recorded for this long, which means I was working on the puzzle for this long. So that's how I'm able to, because I kept track on the first one and Bambi I didn't so much, but it just got to be way, way, way too much. Now, Kelly asked, have you guys always enjoyed puzzles or why did you pick the massive one? So I will let Pat go first.
Why did I pick the massive one?
Mm-hmm.
My wife found it online and asked me what I thought of it and if I would do it pretty much. I said, sure, why not? It's something that not many people have. So then after getting it, you realize, what did I get into?
Exactly. Now, did you grow up doing puzzles, Pat? Or was that something that it was like as you got a little bit older, you found an appreciation for them?
I've always done puzzles pretty much in stages. I'd do a lot for a while, then wouldn't do any for a while, then back into it again, and whenever I felt like it. So I've been pretty much doing it my whole life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my mom got me into doing puzzles when I was younger because I had like the wood ones, like when you're a baby doing them, and then my mom, because I remember the first 3D puzzle that I think might have ever come out was like the Capitol building, and that was like the first one. It was like made out. Oh my gosh, it was a mess, but it was a lot of fun to do. And then before I moved down to Florida, I had seen this. We actually went to a toy store up in Michigan where I lived, and they had one of this puzzle. I think it was like 36,000 pieces at that time. It was made by Ravensburger, and it was all windows, like looking out into like a cityscape. And I was like, oh my gosh, that it like the box was huge. So then, of course, naturally, I went to Ravensburger website, and then I saw the Disney one, and I was like, oh, they have the Disney one. And then Amazon had it as a deal of the day. I'm like, sold. I could not get it in my cart fast enough. And now I'm just basically dealing with this headache several years later. So,
yeah, I know I've been asked a lot what I'm going to do after this puzzle. I'll probably do some smaller ones, then go to another big one.
Yeah.
Because they've got that 51,000 piece out or 52,000 piece.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'll do that one, but I'm sure they'll.
Is that the Kodak one? I know that Kodak has one. Yeah, okay.
It's Kodak.
With different scenes, yeah.
But if they have another big Disney one, I might end up doing that. So.
Aw. Now Kelly said, "Thank you. I want this big one so badly, but it's sold out everywhere." It is.
Yeah.
I think what happened is the pandemic kind of not ruined everything because both Pat and I got ours before the pandemic. It just took us a while to start it. And
yeah.
I think once the pandemic hit, a lot of people, they were looking for things to do inside the house, social distance. So the pandemic is kind of because I remember at one point, I want to say on Amazon for like a reseller, this was like a $2,000 puzzle. It was like ridiculously expensive. And I'm like, I think the retail was $400 at the time that I purchased it. I didn't pay $400, but I think that was what the retail was. On this Ravensburger website, I think they're retailing for $6 now. So but they're still sold out, but I think that's like the new retail price. But it is sold out. I don't know how many Ravensburger made. Obviously not enough. So a lot of people want them, but But I know for me, I noticed before I started this, it seemed like a lot of people overseas did them. Like it wasn't really in the States. So a lot of the videos I watch, like a lot of people are from, and I know that Ravensburger is over there. So I'm like, does anyone in the United States like really do this puzzle? Because I think it was a big hit over there. And then they're just like, let's ship a couple off to the States. So.
Yeah, Samantha just typed in, she's getting me the 13,000 piece Disney one to do next.
Ooh, nice.
I forgot about that.
Oh, nice. Yes, now, what's the theme of that one? I know you said Disney. Is it cartoons or?
I don't remember.
It's a surprise.
Well, she told me. I just don't remember. She'll probably type it in here in a minute. But, there's a group on Facebook. A couple people have found this puzzle and gotten it here in the States.
Aw.
So, it's the Disney Symphony.
Okay, nice.
And
I see a lot of black in that one. Black and music notes I see in your future.
Yeah. But one of the people that got this puzzle recently took all 10 bags and threw them in the box together. I'm like, that's punishment.
Yeah. you're not finishing that and you're not selling that because
Yeah.
I know like in the comments people will say you're cheating because you're not. No, I am not cheating. I'm keeping my sanity by not doing that to
Yeah.
myself because when you lay out the 4,000 pieces, you're already overwhelmed. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's more of a sanity thing than it is cheating.
And if you try to do the edges first, and of course you probably found out one piece will fit in like 4 to 6 different places.
Yep.
On the corner ones. So if you throw all 10 bags together, now you've got one piece. If you're trying to do the edges, that'll fit in probably 30 different places until you get the middle down there and you're going, wow, it doesn't fit.
Yeah. Yeah, the edge I've learned is I start from the film strip and then I do the blue and then I do the edge because I start with the Snow White one. I did the edge first because that's the traditional thing you do with the puzzle. And then I was like, I had like 4 extra pieces and I'm like, where do these? And then you go and you like look and you're like, no, this one goes here because the edges minus like in a couple areas where you see the film strip, it's all just blue. It's blue with like some itty bitty stars. So there is no pattern to the edges to say like, oh, there's a half star on this. No, you're just praying at that point.
Yeah. You know, they'll fit side to side easily, but it's the top next piece going up. And in the way it's cut, you'll find that throughout the puzzle.
Yep.
Pieces fit in 6 different places, but you got to look at the color. So if this was a solid color puzzle, every piece would have about 6 or 7 different locations.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Easily. And the thing, too, is like how I know I messed up is because like when you get like the 2 pieces and you're trying to work that extra one in, and I've gone through every pile of like what could possibly fit, and I'm like, I bet you one of these 2 pieces is wrong. And I take out that piece, and magically I'm like, oh, I just wasted so much time doing that. I'm like, there's like 20 minutes I'm never getting back from this puzzle.
Yeah, because there's days I come in here on Sunday morning, and I just happen to look at the puzzle because I got one little section of 3 pieces that can't find to get in. And I'll look down and go, wait, that piece doesn't go there. And have to go to the other side of the puzzle to find it. Then swap them out, and all of a sudden I got those 3 pieces in.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Now, what do you think? So if Ravensburger, because I'm trying to get people's opinions on this. So let's say Ravensburger says it's incorrectly cut. It's not going to go into the next section. I don't know what the solution is going to be. I'm going towards, because I don't know if they can just send me like the last 2 rows because like, I'm like, is that going to fit into the next one? I don't want to do this one again. I know they're not going to send me a whole new puzzle because it's out. I don't know, because I saw, as I'm sure you did, because I got tagged a whole bunch of times on TikTok, someone wrote Ravensburger, they did this piece, and they actually sent them the puzzle piece, the missing puzzle piece. So that gave me hope.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this isn't a missing, like, I have those 3 special ones that, like, here, I'll show you guys, that just were broken, that were incorrectly cut. So, like, I have this one. So I'm like, okay, if they replace that, they're still off-centered. Because over here, let me show you guys real quick. This is what's, like, concerning me is, like, this one right here. See how it's towards the edge, and then across is also, but this is also a little bit higher. Like, see how low this one is, but this side's in the middle. So it's this edge that's concerning me about that. Because normally, like when you look at puzzle pieces, they're basically even from side to side.
Yeah.
So I don't know what my solution is going to be here because, as you know, Pat, if the next one's in the middle,
then you have a problem.
It's not good. Like this is, I'm going to have a problem. So, so we'll have to see what goes on here. But I don't know what their solution is going to be. Their solution just may be like, thank you so much for doing the puzzle. We appreciate you. There's nothing we can do. Good luck. Should have done it when it was out, when it originally came out, and then we could have helped you. So, we'll see. But with my other ones, they are all in the middle. So I don't know what the solution is going to be. I hope, I don't know. I just don't have any answer here. So, but I'm going to move on because I'm like, well, even if it doesn't fit together, we'll still finish all of them. I've gotten this far, so why quit now?
We'll have to make a way to make them fit if I have that problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I know you said that your side of Peter Pan might be like that. So
Yeah. Maybe they mixed up our sections. I should have got yours. You should have had mine. And they would have
well, I
fit.
know that they have serial numbers. So that's why I was like, because all my serial numbers on all my bag are different. But I'm like, well, is there like a string of serial numbers that are supposed to go together? So I don't, because I know when I originally wrote them, they asked for serial numbers on the bag. So I'm like, all right, here's my serial numbers, obviously for product control or something. But I'm like, was I supposed to get what I was supposed to get, or was mine like the one that was not supposed to go out? Because I don't know. So
Huh.
we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, maybe they're just different cuts.
Yeah.
For,
Oh, so Emily
yeah.
asked, which one are you going to do next? Okay, Emily. So for me, I'm having everyone vote, and I will show you what we have left, or what I have left so far. So far, so Pat and I have both finished this one. This was my second one. There's Minnie, and then of course we have Ariel. Now, what I have left is Peter Pan, but I don't care what the votes are. We're not doing this one. I will rig the voting to not do this one next. Hi, Jonathan. Thank you for joining in. And then we have Fantasia still up to do. I have Jungle Book, Dumbo, which Dumbo has no votes. That one I did. This one's done. Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, and Lion King. So that's what I have left. Pat has done, he's gone in order. He has done Snow White, and he's working on Peter Pan right now. So that's what Pat is doing. I think Pat did mention that he's going to also have people vote on his puzzle. So I think the
Yeah.
voting's fun because you just kind of let everyone choose your destiny. And
Yeah.
then you get to know if your followers love you or if they hate you at that point. You're like, I'm telling you, everyone that's voting Peter Pan, I'm like, I'm remembering your names because I could see what you guys are doing. But they might be thinking, get it out of the way, just get it out of the way, be done with it. But yeah, okay, so I have Lion King, please, Fairy Tale. Said Lion King, please. Yes, Lion King so far are the top two is Beauty and the Beast and Lion King for me. So we'll see.
Either one will be easier than Peter Pan.
Yeah, I think Peter Pan needs to be like a little, but then I'm like, with what I have left, if you like look at there, I'll show everybody so that way they can follow along with me. Is when you look at what's left, I'll just look like this. You have blue, 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 blue. So you have four blues. So I'm like, you almost have to do like a color, then a blue, a color to kind of break it up, or else you're doing two blues in a row. I got another vote for Lion King. They're like, Lion King. Lion King, though, I think where I'm going to struggle is all the brown. Like, there's just I think this up here is going to be difficult. There's just, it's a lot of, but I think that they're more like distinct in the outline of the characters. Like they're smaller.
They look more distinct on the shades.
Yeah. Now, here's something. Okay, so I didn't know if everyone knew this, but because I read the directions, finally after working on the puzzles. Yeah. So there's a hidden Mickey in every section. I didn't know did you know that, Pat?
Yes.
There's a little hidden. Okay.
We found them all.
Okay. And I'm not allowing myself to find them until I'm actually physically working on the puzzle. So I'm like, that's my little thing. But on Ravensburger website, they stated, and I thought this, but then I was like, maybe I just don't remember the movie that well. There are like deleted scenes in the film strips. So it's like the film strip goes from the movie from beginning to end, but it says that some of them have deleted scenes. And I did not know that. And I was like, because I remember doing some of them, and I was like, I don't remember this scene from the movie. I'm like, well, I'm older, so I'm like, maybe I just don't remember the movie that well. And then I read the website, I'm like, now that makes sense. Yeah. I don't know what the deleted scenes are, because I'm not going to play that game right now, but I was like, I did not know that was even a thing. So now when we're doing it, and you're like, I don't remember the scene. It's probably because it was a deleted scene. So I was like, that's a fun little fact to, know about these puzzles.
Yeah. You had a question about how they picked the movies. Yeah. I was going to find out, but I'm unable to do that as easily as I thought. Because at one point, the artist who designed this puzzle, his daughter was following me. Okay. I went to message her, but apparently she's not following me anymore. so I can't message.
Aw.
But I'm still following her, so I might throw it into a comment somewhere
Yeah.
for her to contack me.
Oh,
Because
definitely. I know.
she's
Go ahead.
she's an illustrator herself over
Oh,
in the UK.
nice.
So
Yeah, and then I did buy, and I was going to do this, but now my plans have changed a little bit. But I did buy the 1,000-piece version of Little Mermaid, just so that way I could like compare like how long it takes me to do the same exact puzzle, but smaller, and show everybody the pieces and everything. But
that might
now
be a
this
day
whole
or
debacle, yeah,
be a
I'm thinking
day
a
or
day. If
two.
I sit down for like an hour, I'm like, I think, especially because I've been staring at it for 4 weeks, I'm like, I should be able to knock it out in about a week. But I was hoping to do it in between, like have this glued, and then while people were voting. But I'm like, I can't glue it, and I don't want to take it apart until I hear back from Ravensburger. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that might be like a work on the side, set up the camera someplace else, and show them. But I think it would be kind of cool, and I would like to see it too, like just the difference in the size of 1,000 pieces to 4,000 pieces. So yeah, that's going to be kind of the. But I did notice on the back of the puzzle was they actually have the same ones that we are working on. So there's Peter Pan, Jungle Book, so it's everything that's on the bottom. And I'm like, oh, so did they know? I don't know. Like, I was trying to figure out when this puzzle came out. This says 2017 versus like the bigger puzzles. So I don't know. I was just confused by the whole entire thing about how I still think 101 Dalmatians, if it was in this mix, would be the hardest puzzle out of all of them.
Yeah.
But also probably the cutest because I love dogs. That was my favorite movie. That and Cinderella were like my two favorite movies. But I'm like, 101 Dalmatians would have been like the challenge, especially if you did the one they have that scene of them like all the puppies watching the TV. So you have like all the dogs like I'm like that would have been the challenge. But and like your wife said, Pinocchio could have been another one. I think that would have been cute. But these are still good. I like my only feedback would be is like I'd said before, a lot of blue. I'm like, I wish that they would have picked scenes that weren't so blue.
Yeah.
Like Peter Pan. I mean, they could have done like Captain Hook on the ship, or we could have done like gotten a little, because once it's done, when you look at it, you just see a lot of blue. Yeah. That's what I see when I look at it.
They could have pulled one of the scenes off the film strip with everybody in it.
Yeah, exactly. So. But I'm happy, and I can't wait to see both of us when we're done. I can't wait to see the next puzzles that you're working on. I'm enjoying the puzzles that you do during the week as well. I'm so jealous that you got the partners one. I just haven't made my way to Disney Springs to get it, and then I missed out on. They had one where it was like the old 70s park map. And it was like it was literally a couple weeks is all they had it available, and then it sold out. And I was like, oh, I missed that one. Yeah, so I wasn't happy about that. My dog is very upset that she's not getting the attention that she thinks that she deserves. So I'll just come sit on the ground with her, so that way she could just.
Yes, the one I got in the truck with the partners one, and what I've got left is mainly. It's got the one section where it's gold and says 50, and everything else is sky blue.
Okay, so more blue.
More blue, but it's sky blue.
For punishment, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's a different shade of the sky that I'm already working on.
And the pieces are bigger.
Okay.
I figured 1,000-piece puzzle will fit on the board I've got in there, but no, I got to do it in almost 3 sections.
Oh no.
So, because I opened the box up and going, wow, these are big pieces. It's not going to fit.
Yep.
I
know that feeling.
I thought it was going to be standard size pieces, but I didn't look at the size of the puzzle either. I should have done that first before taking it out there.
Yeah. Well, and that was the thing too, because I was originally going to start this like at home, back up in Michigan, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just figure out how to transport them. And that's what people like really don't. You can't really do this on a kitchen table. This isn't like a dining room table like project that you did and I did as well. I mean, you build a table for these puzzles. You can't. Yeah. I mean, because they're 2 feet by 4 feet or 3 feet by 4 feet, I think. So it's still like, and plus you need working space as well. As Pat knows, you got to like spread your pieces out and, put them on the side, and you can't, yeah. Like if anyone ever watches my videos, you see all of the, you see like I use boxes from IKEA from my furniture, and I just basically lay out like all the blue, and then I do on each side of the box. I have all the different shapes, and then I just kind of rotate the boxes I'm working and say, okay, now I need this shape. And that's what I have found has helped me, because I used to leave them like on the sides of the puzzle, and then I would have to like lean over and like, no, I just keep them all, and I just rotate the piece of cardboard. And okay, so Emily asked, which puzzle do you want to do? So if we had to pick, Pat, and I'm assuming she's talking about in the next one, if you could pick the next puzzle, which one would be your vote for yourself?
Oh, probably Lion King or Jungle Book.
Okay. Is there a reason? Are you just to get away from blue? Nothing with blue in it?
Something to get away from blue for a while. Jungle Book, to me, looks like one of the simplest ones. I can probably get that one out quick.
Mm-hmm. For me, I feel bad for Dumbo. I'm giving Dumbo the sympathy vote. Okay, so that would be my. I would pick Cinderella because it's my favorite movie growing up. But for like simplicity, I would probably go Jungle Book for simplicity. That would probably be so if I was doing like what movie is my favorite, Cinderella. Simple, I think, would be Jungle Book from what I've done. Now if I was in Pat's position for simplicity, I think minus the flowers, Bambi was easy. Because Bambi is big. I mean, Bambi, she's a big part of she is a big part of the puzzle. I mean, look at that. That's most of the puzzle right there. And then you have Thumper, and then after that, it's just, and what's nice too is you have like the brown, and then you have the green up here, so that's two different shades. The flowers, you just sit there and try every piece. It's all this down here, which was the nightmare. But when you look at this nightmare compared to what Pat's dealing with, it's nothing. This is not even that big of a nightmare when you look at all that blue in Peter Pan.
Yeah, because that one, you get the characters done and be like Snow White. The characters are done. There's not much left to do.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like when you look at Peter Pan, everyone's skinny. Everyone's so skinny and small in Peter Pan. So it's like you have more, like we have said, you have a lot more background space than you do in all the other ones, because everyone's so tiny in Peter Pan. I'm like, we need to just fatten them up a little bit so that way we can get larger puzzles going there. Because, I mean, look at how skinny everyone is.
Yeah, because they're kids.
Yeah, exactly. But like, and then you have like, you got the bear, you have the jaguars. I mean, you got like, and then the rocks. So you got. I always look for like bigger. Like Dumbo, I think would be easy because he's going to be a huge part of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Lots of gray, but once you knock him out, it's just basically the background. And then again, I mean, Beauty and the Beast are going to be the same size as Bambi, but then you have all of this background. To deal with. Yeah. So Lion King has a lot of animals. Lion King, I don't know. Pat and I will have to decide whoever gets to Lion King first, the level of difficulty.
Yeah.
He might be saying like, it's a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be. But even Cinderella, I mean, she's going to take up most of that puzzle. So that's what I look for when I'm doing these puzzles is what's going to take up the main. Mickey, this one, he's going to be small.
Yeah.
So.
And it's all background.
Yeah, it's all background. At least two different colors, though.
Yeah.
Kind of. And all the white.
Yeah. That's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah. Now, which one do you think is going to be your last one?
That's a tough one. It might be Cinderella.
Okay. I think if the voting goes, I think my Dumbo's going to be the last because no one votes for Dumbo. So at some point it's going to be like Dumbo and somebody else, and then the somebody else will probably win. But I'm like, all the people that voted for Little Mermaid, I'm like, your votes have to go someplace. So I'm like, I don't know if they're going to go move to Jungle Book or to Cinderella, so we'll see.
Yeah, it depends on what they like better.
Yep. I think they like all this, and I think what's amazing about this puzzle, and I didn't realize it either, I'm sure you didn't either, is the size of it. I mean, like, I have my two just laid out next to each other in like a rough manner on the floor. I mean, this is big. Like, this isn't your average little rinky-dink puzzle. And even when I like do it on the table, it does this right here. And Pat, like once you get to this point, that you'll be like, holy crap, this is big, because it's a lot of puzzle. I mean, my dog, she's 4 pounds. I mean, look at her next to that puzzle. She's like, I could just lay on. I mean, I'm sure you've seen her in my videos because she just walks over the puzzles whenever I'm shooting. But yeah, it's. I mean, this is a big, because if there are 4, so this is probably like 8 feet, 9 feet, and then you're talking 3 feet, across. So that's a lot of puzzle right there.
Yes, when I started Snow White, I had the whole section of pieces on this table, and there was really no room left to do the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when you really it kind of sets in then. When you got a 4 foot by 8 foot table and you have no room to put anything together.
Yep.
Because all the pieces are out.
That was the biggest mistake that I made, is laying out all the pieces from the beginning. Because that's what you do with a tradition. And I was like, because I had put a box on my, square, and like no pieces can go inside here. And then I had to buy like 2 folding tables to put on the side. I'm like, but then you're walking around the table hunched over. So sorting them out into like bags or trays, like how you do, so much easier, because now you're only working with like, maybe a couple hundred pieces at a time, like in front of you. And then it's like, okay, now that all these pieces are basically put together, let's move on to the next one. It's less overwhelming. But when you walk, and that's, I think, why it took me so long to do Snow White, is because I was so unmotivated at times, because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many pieces. Like, as I got rid of like one folding table, I'm like, but there's still so many pieces left. I'm like, why are there so many pieces left? So yeah, once I get to the star border, for me, I'm like, I'm good. We're reaching the end, but I'm also like, it's going to take me about 2 weeks to do the star border. So
yeah, and that's in the stars. There's probably 500 pieces in the stars.
Easily.
And when it goes a lot better. It's like when I sort them out, initially they go into Ziploc bags and set over on the side. And so now it doesn't look like it's not as overwhelming. And
exactly.
It's easier to work with.
So Mary has commented, we have a puzzle going in the break room all the time, and we ruin the table from leaning on it. Yes, because you do. And it's like, I feel like I need like a massage after every time I finish a puzzle, because this is like, I literally just sit here and I'm like, okay, here. So if you ever like watch my video and it's just like the back of my head and my back, that's because I'm literally just leaning over the table doing it. Like, I bring my rolly chair out here. I have like my little cushion pad, and because you spend a lot of time sitting. So I'm thinking I have one of those like under the desk ellipticals. I'm like, I need the under the desk ellipticals, so I'm like doing something. Yeah, Pat stands. I don't know how you stand during it, Pat, but more power to you.
Yeah, well, I sit all week. So
yeah.
And
now, is your table higher?
It's 4 foot tall.
Okay.
And the only problem is I can't take it out of this room without taking the table apart.
Yeah.
And then I sit there and think, well, maybe I should have built a bigger table.
And you're like, nah, I'm good.
No.
Oh, so Mary wrote, she said, we tend to stand and do it for 15 minutes after lunch or when we need a break. Yes, it's probably the best time to do this. Just get that little 15-minute break and do your puzzle. And, just especially when you're at work, sometimes you just need to like get up and stretch. So yeah, my dad, I will give my dad all the credit for the table, because I'll show you guys underneath, I have to get on the ground. We used IKEA legs that you could just buy for like $4. We screwed them into, I think this is plywood. I don't know, something cabinet plywood, I think my dad told me. But then he came up with the idea to do a piano hinge all the way down.
Yeah.
So it's cut into half so we could fold it up when I'm not using it and, go ahead and do it that way. So when I'm not using it, because, this is, I mean, like, even if I wasn't working on a 4,000 piece puzzle, I would definitely use this puzzle for other puzzles as well. Because it's so nice to have this all. And of course, I have my
Yeah.
PVC pipe rig with my camera and my light and everything overhead. So, but to me, this is the perfect setup. And I can just fold it, put it in the corner, and I'm good to go.
Yeah. Once I get my ceiling done, I'm going to put some light rigging up and have a camera up there too.
Yeah.
I can't do that until because then I'll have to take it down to do the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
And until then, I have to cover my puzzle when I leave for the week because I got birds living up in the rafters.
Oh, no, 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 no.
And the,
You don't
and
want
the
puzzle pieces missing.
no, no, they don't get in here because
Okay.
I got the temporary boards up for the ceiling and the walls, but they're building nests up there, and when they walk around, everything falls down.
Oh, yeah. You don't want that.
No.
You definitely don't want that.
And if it rains and the wind blows the wrong way, I'll get a couple drops of water that come down.
Mm-hmm.
So, got to cover the puzzle when I leave. And
Yeah.
so I came home one day and a couple drops of water come through because the storm, and I had a couple pieces get wet. So I just didn't touch them at all, let them dry the way they were. But they were already together. So it's all good.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah. My thing is, as long as, I do mine in my Florida room and it's hot in here because it's a Florida room. So, but
Yeah.
I'm worried about like the expanding and contracting a little bit. So we'll just see. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going for whatever this puzzle's going to be, it's going to be. And I'm just going to kind of wing it and hope for the best. And fingers crossed I can finish all of it and still have my sanity after all this.
Yeah.
And like my brother says, I want it because he wants to see it all laid out. And I'm a little concerned because it's 26 feet long. I am now thinking, I don't even know if it'll fit. I would have to like move all my furniture in my living room and dining room to put it because I am like, well, it could go down my hallway, but my hallway isn't 6 feet, like, because I have the Haunted Mansion set up and everything. I'm like, oh, I don't know. This may not fit. I may have to be moving furniture for this, or I'm going to take it outside, like lay some tarp down, take it outside, and hope that no one decides to park the car over it while I'm taking the pictures. So,
Yeah. Why don't you just block off your drive?
yeah, exactly. But like, no one can come in this area. So, yeah, I don't have as big as a room as Pat does, but I'm making it work out here.
Yeah, my problem is I got to travel a quarter mile to come out and work on it. So.
Aw. But at least it's peaceful when you get out there. So it's like your own like little zen area. So it's like,
Sort of.
and it's like, oh, blue. Oh, you're just like, ooh, blue, blue, no more blue, no more blue. You're going to have to like start training like your followers. You're going to be like, okay, we're not going to do blue. So we're going to do Jungle Book or something else. Or you have to like start wearing like green to like whenever you do a puzzle, be like, yeah, if you ever want to vote for a puzzle, maybe a green puzzle. So that way they don't do blue. You're doing like all like those subliminal messages to not choose blue.
Well, the last vote for the second section, I gave them a choice of two.
Okay.
They were both blue.
Because it was Fantasia?
Yeah, and it came up with Peter Pan. Now I'm going,
okay,
no, we're going to skip Fantasia.
Yeah, because you would be down to Fantasia and Jungle Book at that point, so.
Yeah. Then I thought about just going Dumbo and Jungle Book, and now I'm going we'll just open it up.
Whatever.
With whoever's left.
Yeah. They all got to get done at some point, so.
Yeah. It's just if one that's blue wins, I'll just have to deal with it and just do it.
Yeah. I think it's going to be every other one for me that I'm going to try to like go towards. I mean, I'm going to let people vote, but I'm like, if we do Beauty and the Beast, hopefully the next one is a blue one, because I don't know if I could do blue back to back. So I'm going to need just a little bit of a break. If people want to continue to see puzzles from me, they're going to cut me a little bit of slack and vote non-blue for one of them. I'm like, just please don't give me a blue one. I need a little break from it. or else you just won't see me on TikTok for like 2 months. Be like, where is she? She needed to rest her eyes because of all the blue. So, all right, Pat. Well, I got to get going, and I'm going to let you get going because I see that we want to go work on the puzzle. I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. I had so much fun. Pat and I, it was so great to talk to you, get your point of view on everything, and know that I'm not in this insanity alone.
Yeah, there's a few of us.
We are in this together. Yes, there is a few of us. All right, you guys all have a wonderful weekend. Thank you again for joining me, Pat. Good luck. I can't wait to see your progress. I watch every week, and you guys all take care and enjoy the rest of your Sunday and be safe.
And we'll do this again in a couple months.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I enjoy this.
Yeah.
All right, bye, everybody.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you later. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey. Okay, where were we at? Yeah, I'll go ahead and download it. That won't I'll have to put it over somewhere, put it up somewhere. So thank you everybody for joining. I'm going to get out of here, go get some lunch, and we'll see you guys later.